Alright, so some really interesting news coming out of WWE today. They've just announced that the main event of Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia will now be Roman Reigns vs. Brock Lesnar. That match taking place on October 21st. However, that's not the surprising part. The surprising part is later in the statement, where they also say whether that contest will be for the Universal Championship depends entirely on what happens in the head of the table's title match against the Demon Finn Balor at Extreme Rules. That match, of course, taking place on September 26th. Now, WWE are attempting to imply here that Balor may actually pull an upset over Roman, and that if he does, Lesnar and Reigns will still happen in Saudi, but just no longer for the title. I find this unlikely for several reasons. The first and most important one being that between Reigns and Lesnar, the two have held the Universal title for almost 2/3 of its entire lifetime. The second reason being, the Universal Championship has changed hands at every Crown Jewel event thus far. It's literally the Saudi belt for all intents and purposes at this point. If this match between Reigns and Lesnar is main eventing the show, and make no mistake, it will main event this show, then everything WWE has done in the past 5 years since this belt was activated on the main roster points towards Reigns beating Balor at Extreme Rules and then defending against Lesnar in Saudi. Whoever wins that match remains to be seen at this point. However, I am not saying that Balor winning this match is impossible here. A lot of people have seemed to be saying that because he has the demon persona for this match, of course he's going to win. Not necessarily true. A lot of people seem to forget that the demon Finn Balor has actually lost a match in NXT back in 2016 to Samoa Joe. So even though he's undefeated on the main roster as the demon, as the commentators love to remind us, he is not undefeated overall, and I don't think that's necessarily enough to protect him from taking an L against the Tribal Chief, especially when he has a match already booked after this in Saudi against Lesnar. I mean, what I'm saying is this. If by some miracle they do put the belt back on the man who never lost it, if they do put the belt back on Balor, it is a clear sign that there is some crazy change coming internally within the company itself. And you can guarantee that that would be a direct response to AEW. The same way that the last second decision to let Big E successfully cash in and become the new WWE champion against Bobby Lashley was a direct response to AEW beating Monday Night Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic. Frankly, I don't think Lesnar and Reigns needs the belt at Saudi Arabia. I think the two of them on paper, that's a big enough match, especially with these heel-face roles seemingly reversed and the interest of where Paul Heyman kind of fits into the whole situation. I think on paper that match is a big enough draw, and then you can have Finn Balor defend the title against another underutilized superstar on your massive roster that you're paying for. Makes sense to me, and it looks like that they might already be doing that with the whole Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley storyline that they've been working on for the past while and a bit, on and off now, with Lashley no longer holding the title. I think we were expecting to get a match between the two in Saudi. Presumably that now won't be for the title, or they're either scrapping that whole storyline altogether. Currently, the whole situation remains to be seen, but this seemingly minor, and again, in hindsight, unsurprising announcement of this match for Saudi has some pretty significant implications for the booking of this company and its shows going forward. But leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen with this whole situation? Is Finn Balor going to win at Extreme Rules, or does he have absolutely no chance in hell now that this match has been announced? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe, lads, to stay up to date with all the current wrestling news, and I will catch you in a future video. Take it easy, fellas.